This is soon. I cannot hear anything. Somebody says they can't hear anything. Did you tell her? Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Oh. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're gonna get everybody to sit down in just a second. So good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody should have audio now. I think Alicia mentioned that couldn't hear it, and that's because we muted it. So everybody, we take a seat, please. Let's get going so that we're respectful of everyone's time. Am I in? So this the meeting is actually going to be shared on mute my mute my audio.
I feel like this is deja vu.
It is like deja vu. So we're gonna share this meeting with the internets. So there are people logged on remotely. Is this in frame?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So welcome everybody. I'd like to have Marilyn Teeny start us out, please. In frame, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going to do intros. Yes, absolutely, we are. Mary's doing them.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Marilyn Teeny. I'm the original chair of our Revitalized Economic Vitality Committee. But I'm here today to do a handoff to our new chairs, Dan Tim and Steve Bug, who are also new members of MainStreet Libertyville board. We are very excited today to have finally a robust agenda for all of you to provide information regarding Small Business Saturday, which we hope everybody will see the benefit that we are going to provide directly to our businesses as well as our local residents. And hear about Placer AI. We have Kevin Rogers, who is a committee member who has really delved into the program deeper than any of us, I think, have been able to do. And it's a very powerful program, and he has a great presentation. So thank you all for coming. And Dan, are you taking it from here, or
let's do the committee introductions.
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
So let's go through. There we go.
So Craig Bjorkland is not here. Steve Bug, please raise your hand so people know who you are.
Morning.
Many of you will recognize Pam Hume, who we are so grateful has agreed to step in and help out our organization. She is a friendly face that is recognized by many business owners downtown. Tom Lekowitz, he's not here today. Mary Oshana, you can raise your hand. We appreciate Mary. As you know, she works for the village, and we do a lot of collaboration with the village. So we're extremely happy to have her on the committee and participate with us. Kevin Rogers, and Chuck Stoffel, he is not here. And then we have Dan Tim, and Dan has graciously agreed to again host our meeting. So thank you for the great meeting space.
You're welcome.
It is.
All right. So let's see. In addition to that, let's take. I'm sorry, Mayor. Let's take a minute to recognize a couple of people here. Kelly Crimmins is social media and a new hire to MainStreet, so we're very happy to have her. We also, you mentioned Kate Vittori. Kate Vittori, the chair of MainStreet, is here. And then also Pam Hume was recognized.
Pam Lockwood.
Pardon me?
It was a Rocky Mountain chocolate.
the Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was Pam Lockowitz. Sorry.
Yeah.
Somehow or another I heard Pam, you know what, you get my Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So Pam Lockowitz from Rocky Mountain got that, one of our downtown
She's
businesses.
more deserving, much more deserving.
Sam, I think that's the omen. You need to start a business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so funny about that. We'll have to change that. I do also want to thank Lauren Fish, who's part of my real estate group. She prettied up the presentation and also is running the slideshow. So let's move on. We're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to talk about the Small Business Saturday program. We're also going to talk about some data from a program called Placer AI, which MainStreet secured. It's a program that MainStreet secured, and it has marvelous capabilities, which we're lucky to have explained to us by someone who is a technical person. Our good friend Kevin Rogers is a strategy. Kevin, come on up, please. Tell us what it is you do, and because I can't even explain it. So Kevin and I have known each other for some years, just through kids at school. But he's a big deal at Microsoft, and he happens to live here in Libertyville. So is he in frame? Okay, good.
Very good.
Go ahead, Kevin. Thank you.
All right. Technology at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness. Everyone loves that, right? First of all, thank you again, Dan. I'm Kevin Rush. Pleasure to meet you all. I'm excited to be here. I recently kind of crossed an interesting milestone, which is, it's almost like when you've been with your spouse together longer than you've been apart, sort of thing. That's where I'm at with Libertyville. So I've been in Libertyville a long time, and I love the community. And when Dan and Mary reached out and said, "Hey, would you be interested in figuring out how to contribute back and giving the technology in your background, could you do it?" I was really excited about it. And I saw the opportunity with Placer, and I'll talk a little bit more about what it is in just a second. A little bit about my background. So my day job, I run worldwide cloud strategy for Microsoft. So a lot of it is thinking about what the next frontier of technology should be, where we can go with it, what we can do with it. Part of that journey for me inside of Microsoft was I ran our worldwide public sector business. So working with communities, thinking about how to make them safer, what do the civic packages, voting packages look like, those types of things, and where we can go with things. So taking really complex, abstract things, making them simple and practical and easy to understand is something that is just a day in the life for me right now, right? So let's jump in. Talk a little bit about Placer and just what the heck is this thing, right? So everybody hears about AI, right? So don't get hung up on the AI. Think about the capability of what we're trying to do for a moment. Let's talk a little bit about what it is, the capabilities that it brings, and why is it important. So the buzzword, AI-powered location intelligence platform. What the heck does that mean? Well, it's an aggregation point for information. It takes data from people's cell phones in a passive way, tracks their behavior in 3 dimensions. So without identifying who you are, we can understand where you're going, what you're doing, how long you've been there, what some of your patterns are, and try to take that information and turn it into something that is powerful as a trend. Right. The second piece is there's analytics. So obviously, once you know those pieces of information, you can do some pretty cool stuff, right? Where are the busiest places, right? Why are people going to certain places at certain times? Are they going to the same 2 places in a pattern more than once, right? The last piece is I think it can become a foundation for framing strategy, right? So now that I have all this information, it's kind of like the old pyramid, right? You want to go data, information, knowledge, wisdom, right? Well, how do you take the information that's in front of you and do something with it? So the practical application here is, well, okay, if I know that I'm going to be busier and experience more visits or more traffic between certain hours, I can change traffic patterns. If I know where people are coming from and where they're going, I can change how I advertise and how I market and how I reach out to people, right? So there's a lot of power here. And we've done quite a bit of foundational work to see, well, how can we harness this investment that's been made, right? So let's go to the next one. So I'm going to show you, and I'll pause for questions in just a second, but this is an example of what this looks like. So one of the things you can see is, this is basically, think about Libertyville and the area around the downtown area. One of the things that we started to see once we got into the data is that, as you would expect, like a lot of people would think about a fall off from COVID, right? Like traffic's going to go down, But what does that really mean? Where are people coming to and from and going, and what's the impact of that? The really interesting thing that we found is, over the last 5 years or so, there's about, 400,000 or so less visits that have happened cumulatively over that time for people coming into downtown. The shocking thing to me was it's actually people from Libertyville that aren't going there more, right? So when you start to think about that, I at first I go, wow, that's a bummer. But then the second side of it is that's actually, I guess, a high class problem in a way, because now you can target, right? If we know how to market within our community, if we know how to target and communicate within our community, it can go much easier, right? So let me just pause. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you really fast, but does it kind of contextually make sense what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go with this? Yeah, please, Kate, go ahead.
Just to chime in with something too for the group's knowledge. So MainStreet invests on an annual basis quite a bit into destination marketing to target specific areas that are outside of that sort of downtown footprint. So the strategy, to your point, is going to be something that as we connect those patterns over time, more we can really target where we're investing those dollars in order to bring more of that foot traffic downtown. So there is a little bit of that strategy that contributes on the back end as well.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Kate. So as I start, go ahead, Mary.
If anybody wants to add though, please do it up front so everybody in the audience can hear. We have 2 or 3 people who are logged on.
Okay,
Okay, so,
you want me to go?
yeah, if you have a question.
Yeah,
you'd like to
Brian,
share,
Mary.
Oh,
please,
no.
just join.
I'm the behind the scenes person, don't you know?
Not today.
Um,
We're all-
Yeah, thank you.
Can you just say my question to the audience and then?
Sure.
Okay, my question is this a 12-month period for the?
The question that was raised in the audience is this a 12-month period? This is year over year, yes. Right. So this is a 12-month period.
And what months are they?
I'd have to double check, to be honest.
Does that make us a slight determination on the data as well?
Of course, yeah. Let me come back to you.
Okay,
But I'm pretty sure it's Jan 1 to Jan 1,
okay,
or 12/31 to Jan 1. Pretty sure.
okay.
Yeah, but I can confirm.
And do you know what the 3-year over year changes for this?
I do in terms of aggregate. It's about 400,000 down. And then in terms of just the percentage change, I should have brought my laptop.
Okay.
I can tell you on the fly.
Just curious, like, it doesn't matter for right now, but just curious,
Yeah.
because it shows pre-COVID, post-COVID world.
Sure.
Just curious there.
To Mary's point,
Yep.
point out that when we were on the Place of AI staff, we did a 2019, 2025, and it showed that whole.
Yep, please. Yep. Yeah, it's the same exact pattern and it's consistently down,
Okay,
right? But I think I grabbed, I did grab most recent information to just try to make it real and closer. But it's the same trend to Dan's point over the last 4 years or so. Yeah, very good. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and I wanted to make a point too, Kate, though, based on what you said. So there's other communities in the area that are using it. So like Fox Lake just did this to help cost justify, some basically lakeside development, real estate development. City of Danville uses it too. So it is a community-based tool and there's people getting real value out of it. So let's really contextualize it to Small Business Saturday, right? So let's bring the data to life for a second, right? So as I started, and again, I always knew Milwaukee Avenue was busy, but I didn't know how busy or how many people were going and when. So when you start to see the data come to life a little bit, I mean, there's about 23,000 cars that go down Milwaukee Avenue every day, right? So you would expect that, but the whens, right? So as we got into the information a little bit, one of the things you can see the patterns, like, typical workday, typical commute, that type of stuff. The interesting thing that starts to happen when you get into Saturday, which is why Small Business Saturday makes sense on Saturday, is it's fewer vehicles, but more visitors, right? So which is suggesting that people are kind of swarming, which is part of the reason why we wanted to explore doing it on Saturday, right? So now we got to view real time. This is okay. There's a concentration here, and if we're going to do the event in the window, let's grab it where the traffic is peaked, right? So what it lets us do is get a little bit more scientific around, rather than just throw darts and say, hey, let's start at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Now we can get a little bit more direct on when we like to get things going. Okay. One more. So double clicking a little bit, and this is just, again, I'm not going to belabor this, but one of the things is now we know the day, right? Now, what does it look like? right? How do you break down that Saturday? How prescriptive can you really get? This essentially is saying, let's look at that Saturday, and you've got more discrete visitors, like individuals happening in that window. Now it's the when. So we can isolate to time windows, saying, here's the actual traffic pattern that we should manage to. So now we know where, we know when, we know the demographic of who, right? So we can get really targeted with what we want to go do, which I think is pretty powerful. Questions on this? Okay, cool. Let's go in. So let's just talk about next steps for a second. So I've showed you a lot of whiz-bang technology slides, shared some data, some thoughts. What do we want to do with this thing? And I would offer, Mayor, Kate, Dan, anyone in the audience, please, if you'd like to, make this a discussion, this is fine. But, what do we want to do with it and how can we help? So one of the things is just making the information accessible, right? So, I think ultimately then, if you have a business in the area, work with us, love to talk about what the data can potentially do for you and make it accessible to you so you can make it part of your strategy. I think then, how do you make it actionable? So again, stack of paper or stack of data. What's stack of paper? Someone punched me for saying that in my company, but stack of data, right? How do you make it actionable, right? How do you make it practical? So I think based on some of the slides earlier, there's a lot of diverse people on the committee with a lot of different backgrounds. We have lawyers, bankers, real estate people. We have a really interesting collection of folks that has a pulse on the community. So in terms of how to activate this in your business, we can help you with that. And the last bit I think is the most important, and then we'll go back into Small Business Saturday specifically, but it's about partnership, right? So that's why I'm here. I want to help the community. I love working with you. I love solving problems. So how can we partner to grow and make a community what we want it to be, right? So that's just a really quick overview, and I went fast and my coffee's kicking in, so thank you. But is there any questions people have to go deeper, or grab me too, if you'd like to learn more? I'm happy to share. Yep.
For downtown, how did you create the boundary for the downtown? Did you use like the C1 district? Did you go beyond that?
So initially when I pulled it, I did geofencing. So I looked at it.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh yes, thank you. But the question that was asked, is how do you create the boundary for what downtown is, right? So that's a great question. So there's a two-part answer. One is it's something called geofencing, where I take a specific point on, say, Milwaukee Avenue or different streets and basically draw a circle or draw a shape. In this case, it looks like kind of a contorted polygon of where the MainStreet members, MainStreet members sit with addresses and things of that nature. So that's the first bit. Then the second is we can draw custom shapes or patterns, right? So like as an example, one of our hypotheses is that, hey, after high school basketball games, there's a lot of people coming from outside the community. I know I had my daughters played soccer for GSA for a lot of years. When there's a tournament in town, we got people coming from Mount Prospect and all over the place. So we can draw essentially barriers or boundaries around those places and let them be an entity that we can then track, right? So hopefully that addresses your question, but I can share specifics.
Yeah, and I think the point is to encourage people to question the data because we understand it qualitatively. I'm a data person and I love Placer. I know you know that, but I think questioning it and making sure that it's as accurate as possible is definitely kind of the imperative with the data as well. Because, for example, if you go further than say Winchester or right before Winchester, where we had the AMCO kind of change over, and there have been some changes in sort of uses around the downtown, which kind of can explain a little bit of why there's a little bit of trending downward in visitation, right? But I think that goes back to the point of like, where is that geofence?
Yeah.
That targets the downtown with a lot more accuracy.
Oh, for sure.
Geofence is the C1 district, I think. Is the downtown core.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's what my question was.
Yeah, and that's that's a geofence that had been set up, and that's one that he used.
Okay.
Right. So it's boom, right around downtown Libertyville.
Great.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, Mary, which is first of all, there are no perfect models. Like I am in data at a level that's pretty intense.
Right.
Nothing replaces practical experience or human intuition, but it's just a tool that you can use to test hypotheses.
Absolutely.
Right? And you have to use the two together.
Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah, please.
So is Placer AI just something to collect the data of people that are coming
downtown, or is it like actual where we can serve them ads once we visit downtown?
Well, you can't get a person specific population, but you can get an area.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, geez Louise, I've done that twice now. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So the question was, and let me know if I don't restate this correctly, is Placer AI essentially just a platform that collects information, or how serviceable can it be once you have the information? So like as an example, if a person's coming in from say Rolling Meadows, and I know that, could I target a campaign to that specific person within Rolling Meadows? The answer is you can target to a geography, meaning I know where people are. Like it knows where my phone is, but it doesn't know it's me per se. So I'm not gonna know your address, or that type of stuff. But I could know that, hey, maybe there's the Rolling Meadows example, there's maybe a concentration of 10,000 people coming there. So maybe I want to take an ad out in Rolling Meadows.
Okay, so it's
Or do
not
a
a
campaign.
direct one for one,
No.
I visit Main Street, I then we target it to Main Street on my phone.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Not necessarily a question, but this is a tool that we have had for quite some time, and we really want to hear from the business owners whether or not this particular information would be useful to you on a go-forward basis. And that would be really helpful for us to know as we evaluate whether or not we want to continue to use this program to support the businesses, or if we, maybe want to move on to something else. So not that you have to do a show of hands or put anybody on the spot today, but if you could please follow up with an email or a phone call and just let us know if you think this information would be helpful for your business. We would appreciate it.
Yeah, please.
Can the data be extrapolated on less time frame? In other words, as a small business owner, it's great to look at past trends, but I can do that with my POS. Like I have that capability already. So what would be more powerful is to look at it on a quarterly basis, right? So that you can, because when you're in a small business, you're proactively marketing 3,
Sure.
6, and 9 months ahead of the game, right?
Yep.
We're 3 weeks out of Small Business Saturday, and it's great, but most business owners we've already done all of our marketing, right? So can this be extrapolated and given to the business owners on a monthly or quarterly basis? How does that work?
Sure. Yeah. So the question was, and I'll paraphrase a little bit, what frequency can we either look back or look ahead with the data compared to something like a traditional point of sale system, which is going to give you kind of most recent history. So can we go back, a quarter or some different time decrement? Short answer is yeah. So we can go back to most of the data coming, like the traffic data that I was sharing. That's the 5-year pattern. And we can go back monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily, right down to discrete points in time. To your point, and I think it'd be really interesting to complement, what you're seeing from POS, so this is substantiate what you're seeing.
Right.
Is maybe the intersection there.
And that can be more pinpointed based on the individual businesses that are down. It can get even more dialed in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I speak to the dialed in part of it? Yes, there's a lot of dialing in that can happen. This is to all of us a phone. To Placer AI, it's called a panel. And so there's apps on my phone that have geographic permissions, and Placer AI collects that data. Says, all right, this unique panel spent X amount of time in downtown Libertyville at a certain location, and how many times I came back. So it tracks unique visits, it tracks repeat visits, it tracks duration. Okay, so you can really determine, is somebody just driving through town or are they hanging around? Okay, you can drill down, for example, the jewelry store, Rollins, right? Yeah, they were at this building. The only thing we don't know is were they on the first floor or were they on the second floor? Okay, so there's, but there, you can see variations in data. You can't see patterns. You can find, for example, well, okay, there's some employees. For example, your building, a second floor would be a lot of employees. Mickey Finn's is easier because it's a single level. So you're able to really say at a fairly microscopic level what some patterns are. For example, we could look at the parking garages and see where people are coming from on certain days and times using the parking garages. Now that would be pretty much dedicated shopping business, right? So find out where they're coming from and see what the patterns are. And the biggest takeaway I think we found is that we've seen a large drop off in shoppers from Libertyville in downtown Libertyville, right? And okay, well, what happened since COVID? You know, the Hawthorne development down on the south. That's an old story. The first mall was built down there in 1968. So, you know, competition hasn't changed, and downtown's still here. We just need to keep marketing what's unique and great about us and finding our customers. Right.
Very good. Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you. Was there?
I have one more question.
Yeah. Was there another one?
No, it was just, more,
Do you want to make an
commentary.
observation here on camera?
if you can repeat it.
I can. Sure.
Really
It's
need it.
probably-
Okay.
Um,
Great. Is it? Okay.
They can hear me?
Most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You just want me to get.
This is Meryl Shana from the Village Economic Development Staff. So,
I think what could also help the business is understanding their emerging markets. You alluded to it, but I really want to highlight the fact that you can see, is Buffalo Grove a growing market? You can see, is Northbrook a growing market? You can see, is Morton Grove a growing market, right? And I think that's really important too in tailoring your marketing campaigns to understand, are there emerging markets that you might be missing, right? That's an opportunity itself through Placer. So MainStreet can help facilitate that to get you that data.
And I think that's a good example of practical use.
Yeah.
But I think we know we have one business that utilizes this data through their partnership corporately.
Yep.
Can somebody speak about how they're utilizing that? Because I think that's a good example.
So Rocky Mountain Chocolate gets reports because they're a big company, right? So they get reports. They can see when people are coming into downtown Libertyville. Tom from Rocky Mountain, whom we all know, Tom and Pam, he said, you know, there's a really interesting thing. A lot of people are coming to my business in the evening. They've gone out to dinner and then they come into my store. And I'm like, yeah, that's me and my kids, right? For years and years. The irony though, is there's a lot of businesses that aren't open at that time. And so one of the things I think we need to kind of look at is, well, when are the people actually in town? Not saying everybody has to be open at night. But if you're looking for when there's a lot of people who are spending money in stores, well, you might want to know that. So we'll just, we'll share that. Right.
And I thought,
So,
but part of that was them readdressing their hours of operation or looking at pivoting.
Yes.
Based on the data and the
Right.
intelligence. So I think it's utilizing the output.
Yeah.
Right, to help you make better informed decisions, both from a marketing perspective, which is valuable,
Right.
but then operationally, what you look at.
Yeah.
and I think the point in fact was Rocky Mountain made a business decision, a commitment to stay open at night. And that's when they're getting most of their money,
And most likely, by the way, Hawthorne and Melody Farms and Centennial are actually using this data as well. So you kind of want to know what the direct, businesses are using neighboring us, adjacent to us. And they're also using this tool. I know Westfield uses it, which is how I interface with it. So it's an amazing tool to have. And I think not using it is definitely a miss for business.
So if businesses want to get distinct reports for their business and want to have a meeting about it, let us know after the meeting, or just if you want to raise your hands now. Okay, so great. We'll run reports for you and we'll sit down with you. Okay. So yes and yes. Okay.
And maybe come prepared, Maria. I think that example that you gave was perfect. I want to be able to see a quarter front, maybe coming especially with that sort of up front so that the team can tailor the report as much as possible for your conversation is great. So if you have that perspective and questions you specifically want to answer, that's great to be prepared with.
Yeah, so Kate's point was, if you do want us to prepare reports for you, let us know in advance what it is you're looking for, because we can have phone calls with staff at Placer AI, and they will give us, they will help us find it. It is deep and wide in terms of what you can do, and it's almost dizzy. So anyway, just, there probably is an answer in there somewhere. It's just finding it. That, you know, you know how it is. You know, you can, everybody can play golf, but it takes years and years and years to be great at it or that sort of thing. So I think Placer is one of those examples where the farther you get in, the more you realize you don't know. Sorry, that was just a terrible analogy.
Just
all right.
one quick point, and just building on something Kate said, which I think is really important, because I see like our customers struggle with this all the time, is if you think about the question you are trying to answer or what the hypothesis is that you're trying to test, it's a great place to start. So like example, you mentioned point of sale data. My point of sale data is telling me that the vast majority of my revenue is coming in at Tuesday at noon. How do I capitalize on and extend it? What's happening with my competition in a similar industry sector at the same time? Are they seeing the same revenue pattern as me? And if so, why? Like that will help us. It's always easiest if you have something to react to, and then you can bring the data to life in a lot more pointed way.
So this is kind of funny having this conversation today because yesterday I own Morgan's Bar and Grill downtown. You know, we want to open for Mondays during this holiday rush, you know, through the new year. But we've always, since the pandemic, have opened at 11:30. Prior to the pandemic, we opened at 11. You know, so now, you know, my partner's like, well, is it really worth it till, you know, that half an hour? I mean, is there data that'll show us, like, you know, if people are starting to go to lunch at 11 in Libertyville, obviously, you know, we're one of the very few places open on Mondays or that want to be open on Mondays. The majority of the restaurants are closed.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, is there a market there to be had?
Sure.
Not only over the holiday rush, but, you know, into January, February, March,
Yeah.
that slower time.
I think maybe we're going to look at what's happening at similar restaurants, you know, where you're going to be getting a burger, right? And a pizza. How busy are restaurants in the 5 mile, right? From 10:30 to
Are people going to
11:30?
lunch on Mondays
Yeah.
during that time?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sign me up.
Let's see if we can figure that out. That's exactly the kind of question that we seek to answer. Okay. So now, in the interest of moving the agenda along, I'm just going to say thank you for all the questions and attention. And Kevin, thank you very much.
Sure.
We also need to give a nod to Mary Oshana, who assisted us as we were getting online and getting started with this. So thank you, Mary, for all your energy. Okay, let's talk about Small Business Saturday, right? We're changing it. Okay, we got rid of the passport program, which most of you would be familiar with. And we're pretty excited about what we're going to do here. So here's a quick overview. It's not just Small Business Saturday that we're trying to do here. We've really got a social media campaign. Okay. Some of what we were thinking about here is we're suffering losses from Libertyville in downtown Libertyville. And we want to re-engage with Main Street members, just people in general in Libertyville, so that they come back and start shopping. So Shop Libertyville. Okay. It's actually an old campaign. There were bumper stickers on the village trucks. I'm like, well, let's just pull it out. Okay. So there's a good hashtag. Now what we're going to do is we're doing some video, okay, which are going to be cool. Let's see. I'm Dan Tim. I'm a local real estate broker. I was the Main Street director in Libertyville from 1992 to 1997. So I have suffered along with you guys as I did in Main Street. I feel a great debt to Libertyville and downtown for what it's brought to me as a person. I lived a block away from downtown Libertyville for 25 years. My kids grew up in downtown Libertyville. So I'm here because I love town, and I know the businesses want and need help. This committee is excited to be back online and offering it. All right. Just had to get that out.
Great.
Now, so videos, ad buys, viral community engagement. Okay. And we're not just focused on Small Business Saturday. Okay. This is a image campaign. This is a community involvement. Okay. Now we're also going to do direct mail advertising. So that's a postcard about Small Business Saturday to all of 60048. press releases, an article in the Gazette, which is Main Street's newsletter that will go to all of Libertyville. And we have a Main Street Libertyville gift certificate award program. That is going to happen on Saturday, November 29th, Small Business Saturday. All right. So,
Can I add something very quickly?
really,
Thank you for sharing your story, by the way. I think that felt experience is the storytelling that business owners will need to share too. And I think that's what connects with people. So I wanted to add that, you know, with Small Business Saturday and the social media campaign that you guys are launching, which I think is great, the aesthetic, the visual appeal is a lot, right? In terms of attracting people to the downtown versus going to a Melody Farms or going to a Old Orchard or going to, you know, any of the other shopping centers. And the village has a grant program. I know you're aware of it. It's called the Business Resiliency Grant. It's $5,000 matching. If there is a case to be made for businesses that are creating some sort of perhaps you know, to increase visitation, they want new lighting in their store, they want to add something. I don't want to give a certain example and then you think that your project may not qualify, but like Morgan's is a perfect example. So he went from, you know, the window panels, typical window panels, to a roll-up gate. And it's really, I feel like I saw it all summer long, people sitting out there really enjoying it. It kind of created that all-season space. Projects like that could really maybe help with the social media campaign. I'm imagining, like, you know, if you're doing something major to draw people in, whether it's an event, having a DJ, you know, for instance, I would go to the DJ because I feel like maybe I'm old school. I still think it's a thing. But, you know, it could really supplement what you guys are doing with social media. And I just wanted to throw that out there, that if there are businesses that have an idea that they want to bubble up to the village, we'd be happy to hear them out.
thank you for sharing all that. Mary Oshana from the Village of Libertyville has pointed out that there's a grant program available to businesses. And so anybody who's interested in that, please, let's just check in on that. Okay, so it's just to the
To support the social media.
people in the audience. Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that social media campaign. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here's the basic messaging. Okay, shop downtown this holiday season. Okay, our downtown businesses care for all of us all year. Support them this holiday season. Here's a flyer that's going to be, I think, in the windows if you guys want to. That's kind of the poster. Start your holiday shopping this season by supporting our local shops. Take at least one day downtown, okay, to enjoy dining, shopping, and pampering yourselves. Just take a day, all right? We know a lot of people shop online. We know a lot of people go to the malls. This is a lifestyle thing, okay? Spend some time enjoying our downtown. It's fun, parking is easy, and it's good for the community, okay? This is our messaging. Now, as a special kickoff, take advantage of Main Street's Small Business Saturday promotion, which is that for every minimum buy of $200 in receipts in downtown Libertyville, you get a $20 Main Street gift certificate. Okay, so if you spend $400, you get a $40 Main Street gift certificate. If you spend $1,000, you get $100 in Main Street gift certificates. All right, and it doesn't have to be at any one store. Any store in downtown Libertyville, whether you're a member or not, will qualify. So if you have 4 receipts that total $250, you're going to get $25, or well, it goes by hundreds. So you're going to get a $20 gift certificate. All right. And we're going to print the details and everything else. Mayor, you're coming close. You have some corrections?
Nope, well,
Okay.
just one small one.
Yep.
So what was just passed out?
Step in.
Excuse me, what was just passed out, part of our media blitz is that we would like to start distributing these to each business, and they do not need to be a member of Main Street Libertyville to get these. And it's the hope that when someone makes a purchase, those bag stuffers will go into the bag with the purchase to start reminding people Small Business Saturday is coming up. And again, please don't just show up on Small Business Saturday, but also show up throughout the holiday season to make your purchases. And then we do have posters as well that we will be distributing. So we're amping up our media. And
We'll cover all that as
Oh,
we're going through
I'm
this.
sorry, you
Yeah,
got it.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about this program versus the passport program. Okay, there's no cost to the businesses. there's no interruption to your business, okay? Small Business Saturday is one of the busiest days in downtown Libertyville. You will not have people coming in asking to stamp their passport. Hopefully, you'll just have people coming in to shop and make sure they get a receipt on that day, all right? You don't have to do anything but promote the event, promote your business and make money. We want to attract new customers because we'll be talking about our video and advertising program. The program is going to highlight what is special about downtown Libertyville, okay? We're going to build support for downtown businesses in the community, and it is going to be specific and measurable. Can we do the next slide? Okay, so I want to head now over to Matt Fetterman, who's here with us. Matt he runs a media company. It's called Real Snap. I know him because he does video for me as a real estate broker. And it's been very, very useful for me because people see me because we're posting videos out on social media. Now, Matt is going to apply some of those same principles to what we're doing here in downtown Libertyville. And please come up, sure, and just talk a little bit. I don't want to do that.
Did Matt do the video that you guys did on Baird and Warner's main page? Just curious because it was
Probably.
At some point I would have.
okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Not sure which one.
Yeah.
Specifically
The
you're.
one about Libertyville.
Oh, no, that was,
No, that wouldn't have been me.
yeah.
Okay.
That was.
Okay, am I in view?
Yes.
So, a little quick background about me. My name is Matt Fetterman. I own a company called Real Snap Media. When I say I know what it's like to be you all, I've been an independent business owner for pretty much my entire life. I also was on the city council for the city of Highwood. I was a board member of their Chamber of Commerce and also their community organization called Celebrate Highwood. You guys heard of Pumpkin Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Nashwood, I did that. I was part of the planning crew that did that, so I definitely understand event planning, community, getting businesses involved. The reason I'm here is because I do videos for Dan, and I've really honed in on video marketing and how video marketing and social media kind of tie together. And I was asked to come in and help create kind of a campaign to help promote Small Business Saturday. And I'll try not to get too in the weeds, but the gist of it is creating a targeted campaign using some of the data that we're going to get from Placer AI to target our video ads. We're not just doing organic social media posts, we're actually doing meta ad campaigns. And it's kind of a two-tiered campaign where tier one is kind of targeting through viral-esque videos based on what I've identified with Kelly from MainStreet. We've kind of built these 4 pillars of dining in Libertyville, shopping in Libertyville, experiencing Libertyville, and playing in Libertyville. Things to do, things to experience, places to eat, places to shop. And each of these funneled or siloed campaigns are going to be targeted towards those types of people that are interested in those types of things. So unfortunately, because of the snow, we didn't get to shoot, so we're going to be shooting after today. Campaign launches next week. Our phase 1, I can read kind of an example of what an example script would be for like our Die in Libertyville. Kind of imagine very first person-y, the video at the beginning of like for our dining category. Okay, here's a hot take. What if the reason food tastes better here is because people making it actually care if you come back? Like, I'm not saying change or trying to make mediocre food on purpose, but I'm not saying it, right? A quick 7-second, 10-second, get people's attention where we're targeting locals, people in the area that have come to Libertyville, that are into food, things like that. And the way it's designed is so that anyone who watches that first kind of hooky video for 50% or longer, then gets retargeted with a second video campaign that goes out again to those people that have already watched 50% of the dining category, where it comes back and it says on screen, what if food tastes better when the chef knows your name? And then it cuts to one of our local community members on camera saying, it does, trust me. And then it kind of cuts to another section. Now, this weekend, let me preface this. The first round of videos, those tier 1 videos, are going to be going out up until the week of Small Business Saturday. Then the tier 2 videos go out the week of Small Business Saturday. So that whole week, these videos will go out. This weekend is Small Business Saturday here in Libertyville, and it's not just about eating out. next section of the video. It's about supporting the places where they remember how you take your coffee, when they ask you about your kids, not just where's your ticket number or what your ticket number is. When you dine local, you're choosing the places that make our community unique, special, and feel like home. And the heart of every small business is the people, your friends, your neighbors, and your families. And then it cuts to save those receipts. MainStreet Libertyville is running a gift program. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm a little nervous right now.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
And then there's a shop. For more details, go to shoplibertyville.com. We're working on creating a unique custom URL where we can send people to more information about the event. So all these ads have backlinks that are going to go for more information. So no matter what, we're going out into the ether, shaking the ether, getting people interested in the different topics, the different things to do in Libertyville, and then delivering information.
Awesome.
Much.
Thank you. So, if we can, I understand we do. I want to hold questions until I run through everything about Small Business Saturday, because I'm concerned about time. Okay, so if we can just hold questions, I've got some details here. Okay, so Matt talked about the 2 tiers. Okay, so we're going to be doing targeted meta ads. Meta, that's Facebook. Okay, so we're literally going to target specific audiences. And then there's also an aspect of social media posts. Okay, those will be going out. Well, if you're here, you're putting out a post. Okay, because the whole idea is that this is a community organization, and we're going to be encouraging everybody who's a member of Main Street, everybody who's a friend of downtown, come downtown, shop, hang out, post. Okay, that you're here, that you're supporting downtown. All right. Hashtag shop Libertyville. These videos are all going to carry that same message. And this is a big deal, okay, because this is engaging the community, and we hope to do it in a powerful way. All right, so let's go to the next one. Now, co-marketing. All right, so this is you, the businesses. All right. We want you to promote your business and the event. So when we do these videos, we want you sharing our videos on your social media. Okay. We have bag stuffers, which will have the details on how this is working leading up to the event. There's going to be posters similar to these in-store windows. And we want you, please, to do a social media post from your business using MSL generated ads for the data. Okay. So Main Street's wanting to create the higher level picture frame, if you will, or the what did you call it the other day, Steve? It was the brand marketing for the program, and you help pump it out. Encourage your customers. Okay, if you have great customers, this is a good time to call them up and say, hey, listen, I'd love you to come into my store and do a post. I know you know a lot of people. All right, so this is guerrilla marketing, people. All right, and we are wanting to do what you can because you have an audience, you have a sphere of influence, you have people who know, like, and trust you. We need to punch out there that we are all one and we are trying to support downtown Libertyville. Okay, so this isn't about a 10% gift certificate bonus, people. This is about we love our town and we care about our town and we want to support our town. This is about altruism. Okay, that is the #1 thing. Now, Main Street's going to put together a media kit, so you have the hot buttons to share. Okay, Kelly, did you know that? All right. So that will be coming out. Next slide, please. Here's the gift certificate award rules. Okay, receipts for purchases made on November 29th from any non-office business. Okay, member of Main Street or not. If it's a business in downtown Libertyville, your receipts count. All right. You go to 5 businesses and you've got $450. You've got $450 in qualifying purchases. Okay. The minimum amount is $200. Okay. That would give you a $20 gift certificate. An additional 10% award is made for every $100 over 200, 300, 400, 500. You get the pattern. Now we're going to limit it to $1,000 in qualifying purchases. All right. And the only reason is because our budget for gift certificate awards is $10,000, which would be $100,000 in spending on the 29th. Okay, sorry about the noise there. Now, if you need to gross up to get to the next $100, let's say you have $450. You can buy a $50 Main Street gift certificate to get you up to 5. So then you get $50 in gift certificates instead of 40. All right. The Redemption Center is going to be at Milwaukee Taco. It's going to be open from 11:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night. On that day. Those are the basics. Okay. Next. Okay, that's it for this. Yes.
Just one thing
Yeah.
too, we want to remind everybody, those gift certificates still have no expiration date, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So
Yeah, they can come back in
Yeah.
March or April.
Pam mentioned a good point. The gift certificates that we're awarding are Main Street gift certificates. So the same gift certificates that people have been buying for years. They're good in perpetuity. All right. And they're good at any Main Street member business. Okay. Yes. Did I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Isn't
you.
it? Yeah.
You have something you wanted
This
to
is
say?
it. I'll chat with Matt later.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, thank you. All right, now, we do, so we'll be getting to you. We do have some small business Saturday swag here. If you want to grab some of it, check that out. It's free. So come and take it, please. If you're not at this meeting and you want to get some, it'll be at the Main Street office. So just go there. I'd like to introduce my co-chair, Steve Buck. And Steve is going to talk about the goals that the Economic Vitality Committee has for 2026. Great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it. Steve Buck, co-chair of DANS. Just a couple things we want to just set the tone for 2026. Just remember, we're kind of starting this committee all over again, but we do want to take lessons from the past and make sure that we continue to support the local businesses. And we're really here to support and to be a consultant and a partner to help you achieve your goals and your objectives for your local business. And we want to work on helping you energize what is that brand strategy that we need to really embark on to focus on for the core businesses in downtown Libertyville. And how does that need to evolve and change over time? And then we want to help develop programs to really look at specific needs in marketing and helping you manage your business. I think one great example from Placer AI shows that on the event side, it draws a lot of people in. Well, that's great, but how can we articulate that and then drive those folks that are visiting during the event into your business shopping? And then also create the linkages to increase spending by visitors to those sort of promotional events as well. So it's that engagement and that ability to get them in the door and for them to transact with you as well. And how do we accomplish that? The real key thing is listening and learning and those best practices. So Pam and others on our committee reaching out to really sit down and understand what are those evolving needs that you see that we can help with. And nothing is off the table. We want to gather that information. The committee wants to hear from you. We want to be able to then take that and make that actionable so we can give you tools and resources to help you drive your business forward. And then we want to know what we're doing. Is it really working for you? If it's not, that's fine. We just need to know that so we can pivot and look at programs that will help you drive that business going forward. If there's ideas and suggestions, again, we all know Pam, she's great at listening and bringing that information back, as are the other committee members. And that's really important for the committee to hear from all of you. And then certainly the committee, Pam and others that are really dedicated to getting out and meeting with the local businesses, we'll get that information, bring that back and share it with the committee as we look at what are those goals and objectives that the committee can really work on in 2026 and beyond to really help drive increased usage at each and every one of your businesses. How can then we take that information back to the full board and talk about, are there different ideas for events? Maybe things that we're doing now need to evolve and change. I think Small Business Saturday, as Dan alluded to, a little bit different of a program than what was in the past. And that's okay. So how can we evolve and change and then utilize tools and resources like Placer AI, but other tools and resources that are going to help you generate traffic that's going to result in sales in your local business. So don't want to take up a lot of time, but just some things that we were thinking about as a committee as we move forward. All right. Any other questions? Good. All right. Dan.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. I want to also thank everybody for being here and everybody on the committee for all their help in getting us this far. We reformed as a committee this year, and we've got some great people working together, and we have covered a lot of ground in 6 months or so since I've been involved. That doesn't sound right. It sounds like I'm taking credit for everything that has been accomplished. I'm just saying that what I have witnessed in the 6 months that I've been involved has been really impressive. So now, questions, comments, rejoinders. Make a note, please. Small Business Saturday, the 29th, the Dickens of a Holiday Festival, Main Street Promotions Event, Saturday, December 13th. Be ready for company. Be ready for company every single day because we're special and we need to treat our clients like they're special. That's it for me. What else we got?
And is Main Street, I don't know, you talked about before, we're gonna do like gift certificates in larger amounts, like maybe $100, like, you know, instead of buying.
Yeah.
We just had like a big event and we raffled off a $500 Main Street certificate and buy 10
1050s.
So we thought
Yeah.
it would be nicer to have like larger amounts just in case we do want to do that.
A Walker, Pam, do you have? So the question is, can we have larger amounts in Main Street gift certificates than $50 because Roland's Jeweler raffled off $500? Pam, what's your
We
thought?
found, at least when I was there as executive director, we found that, yes, we did have $100 gift certificates, but when people went to cash them, it proved to be sometimes harder to either cash or because it's a one-time gift certificate, you know, you're not doing a card, that change was not always in the cash register. So that was the premise.
Right.
behind it.
Okay. Yeah, and that's so the limit that Pam Hume has brought up is that if there was a $500 gift certificate and you went into some stores and you spent $75, they might not have $425 in change for you. Okay, so that might be the reason that it would be more practical. Okay, but thank you. That's a great question. Yes.
I just have a question about the messaging.
Yes.
So for Small Business Saturday,
Yeah.
love the premise, and as a business owner, I get it.
Yeah.
But what I've seen over the 9 years that we participated is customers want to know the why. Okay, so
Yeah.
they want to know the why behind what we're doing
Mhm.
and the why behind why we're not doing what we're doing.
Okay.
So I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I think there's some value into the messaging.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't the message you have
Okay.
to use,
Yeah.
but like I know my clientele.
Yes.
And for me, what I will be sharing is like, so what we had in the past was an opportunity for people to go to these different stores and to participate, and then they get an opportunity to win one particular prize for
Right.
one particular store.
Yep.
And the way that you're doing it now is so much more community driven and an opportunity for so many more people.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we have the why behind that, because I think
Yeah.
there's value in that,
Yeah.
especially for our regular clients.
Thank you. Yeah, so maybe we can add that to the media packet and a little bit of an explanatory thing that we add. So the question was for those of you in the audience, the why. Why did we change Small Business Saturday? And so some of that was that we had gotten feedback from businesses that was, look, this is our busiest day of the year, and we have clients, customers in line wanting to spend money here, and then I have some person come in asking, hey, excuse me, I don't want to spend any money, but can you please just stamp this for me? And so there's the aspect of having to train staff and spend time on things that aren't generating money, right? So that was a big one. The other one is we feel that the Main Street Gift program is powerful. It re-injects the investment back. We didn't want to charge the businesses anything. We didn't want to have them have to put together a gift basket. You know, we want to give, not get.
And I think that's great. I think
Yeah.
there's more messaging to the customers that we're giving them something
Yeah.
more. That's.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Not to a business owner. I
Right.
agree 100%.
Yeah,
I just think.
and also, you know, I cannot emphasize enough the idea that, you know, please do not focus on the fact that this is a 10% quote unquote rebate program. That is icing on the cake. Altruism, okay? Support your downtown, right? You love your downtown. They love you. You know, the holidays are an important time to show that, right? So take some time. And some of this, the gestation of this idea was from a day my wife and I spent in downtown Libertyville a few years ago. We're like, let's go into town and let's just shop in downtown Libertyville. We went to Main Street Social. We had brunch and Bloody Marys, and then we walked around town. And by the time I walked out, it was finished in 3 hours. I had a bunch of shopping bags. The businesses had wrapped most of my presents, and we had an awesome time, right? And I was like, well, why wouldn't everybody want to try and do that? And that to me encapsulated the experience, the lifestyle portion of what is so special about downtown. And that's what we want to get on video and share, right? Because it's planting that seed, right? So that's the why, okay? Is it's more than a day. It's a lifestyle and it's a commitment to the community, right? Mayor,
With your permission, Dan, if I can just make one little addition.
do you want to come up?
No, that's
Okay.
okay. Thank you. So Brent, or to your point, we do have a press release that's going to be going out. And it does capture a lot of what you said. It doesn't address why we're switching from the passport program to our current program, but it does talk about supporting local businesses. And it is really more directed to the customers than the business. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, Lori.
Just in addition to the why, a little extension to that. What if we were to incorporate some of this amazing metadata that we have as to what happens to those dollars when they're spent locally, as opposed to going to online or big box stores?
Yep.
There's very easily accessible data out there about
Yep.
that.
Yes.
That to me helps commit people to
Mhm.
why is my son's baseball team supported? Because, you know,
Yeah.
of what's happening downtown, not just what we're providing in donations and things like that,
Right.
but also what happens to those dollars.
So, all right, Lori Murphy from Murphy's Health Food in downtown Libertyville says, can we include something about more of a like business reasons?
The local
Right.
multiplier.
Yeah, yes, and the multiplier effect. So, yes, we can. I didn't want to drill down too far on that. However, multiplier effect, and if we, you know, I can recall years and years ago writing an article for the Gazette about, look, if everybody just spent $100 in downtown Libertyville, here's what would happen, right?
Perfect.
This, and it got down to tax revenues that would go back in. That's not going to necessarily warm the cockles of everyone's hearts, but the business sense of it is worthy of that. So we will add a section. Thank you for that idea. All right. Anyone else? Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks for.
Thanks,
again.
Great job. Thank you. I know that's like, I don't even know how you did that.